Manchester United have taken a surprising stance on offloading Kobbie Mainoo and two more of Ruben Amorim's young stars. Manchester United will now listen to serious offers for Kobbie Mainoo, Alejandro Garnacho, and Rasmus Hojlund, after considering these three young players unsellable in the summer. A worrying report via The Athletic reports Manchester United cannot rule out selling either Kobbie Mainoo or Alejandro Garnacho. United do not want to sell either player, but financially the club are duty-bound to listen to offers and consider them on their merit. Manchester United fans are currently digesting this report that nobody wants to read or believe could be true. Sure, these reactions are expected. Of course, we are talking about the two teenagers who inspired a glorious moment in recent Manchester United history. A magical FA Cup final victory over rival City, one of the best days over the past decade. After that 2024 FA Cup victory, Kobbie Mainoo and Alejandro Garnacho seemed set to lead United for the next generation, stepping up from being FA Youth Cup winners to FA Cup winners. Nothing can be assured anymore. INEOS have learned the hard way already that sentiment related to the cup final alone gets you nowhere. They stuck with Erik ten Hag, and the 2024-25 season has turned out to be a disaster, with the Dutchman fired and weeks and months wasted. And perhaps the result of that ill-executed managerial decision is United rank 13th in the Premier League, very unlikely as it stands to be playing European football next season, and this may be having a devastating financial impact. Sir Jim Ratcliffe is prepared to go to new lengths as part of his ruthless books balancing project, risking further backlash from already unsettled supporters. United are testing the margins of football's financial rules after splurging over £600 million in less than 3 years under Erik ten Hag. The Dutchman ultimately had to cash in on homegrown talent, including Scott McTominay and Anthony Elanga, to continue bolstering his squad. Mainoo and Garnacho are more recent academy graduates who have been tipped as the future of United's midfield and attack. However, United have placed every single member of Ruben Amorim's squad in the shop window, and will consider sales if suitable bids land on the table. The Red Devils aren't actively looking to offload Mainoo, Garnacho, or Hojlund, but it's an altered stance from the summer transfer window. That said, these three youngsters are still considered crucial players, and while the club would listen to offers, it doesn't necessarily mean they would be ready to accept. Not one player is off limits. Last summer's arrivals, Leny Yoro, Noussair Mazraoui, Matthijs de Ligt, Manuel Ugarte, and Joshua Zirkzee are also up for grabs for the right price. Selling homegrown players is an attractive proposition for United's accountants, given that it represents 100% pure profit under the Premier League's profit and sustainability rules. It has undoubtedly contributed to United's willingness to cut ties with Marcus Rashford, who says he's ready for a new challenge. Manchester United are exploring options over Marcus Rashford's future at the club, with interest emerging all over Europe. While Manchester United fans may be reticent to see Marcus Rashford pull on the shirt of another Premier League club, seeing him play for another European team would be less painful. One of these is AC Milan, with United eyeing a probable loan with view to eventual sale, which would boost the club's finances. Marcus Rashford is a big-name player who would represent a coup for an Italian club looking to acquire him, and AC Milan's interest is on one level understandable. And from another perspective, it does not make much sense at all, with Rashford's fit for AC Milan's current squad deemed as questionable. This relates to Rashford potentially doubling up with AC Milan's best attacker, Rafael Leao, who also prefers to play from the left flank. As we have seen in Spain with Real Madrid this season, simply adding in a star name like Kylian Mbappe does not necessarily make a team better. Mbappe's preferred position from the left is the one Vinicius Jr. likes to play in, and it has been a challenge for the La Liga side to fit both in. And this is the same situation AC Milan would generate by bringing in Marcus Rashford. It might be a nice problem to have, but Manchester United can testify over the years that names mean little if there is no plan for them. Marcus Rashford is being seen as a luxury signing for AC Milan. Whether Milan takes that gamble comes down to it working financially for them, and it sums up the troubles Manchester United are experiencing in terms of trying to land a fee for one of the club's highest earners. For a team like Milan to commit wholeheartedly to the deal, they need to be totally convinced it is the right move, and there are plenty of reasons to be doubtful this particular move goes ahead. Amorim is persisting with his 3-4-3 philosophy and will sign and sell players based on who he believes fits the criteria. The Portuguese tactician evidently views Mainoo and Ugarte as his first-choice midfield pairing, but Mainoo's contract situation has sparked uncertainty over his future. Mainoo signed a new long-term contract in February 2023 worth around £20,000 a week, having made just a few first-team appearances. The 19-year-old, now an established England international, understandably wants a new deal to represent his status in Amorim's squad. However, there is currently believed to be a roadblock in the way of discussions, with United switching their focus to Ahmed's extension as a priority. Chelsea have emerged as one of Mainoo's heavyweight suitors and could test the new United hierarchy's resolve as early as this summer. Our task is not to overreact to this and act like the sky is falling, or act like INEOS are the bad guys as they look to untangle 2 decades of Glazer ownership and bad decisions. They won't get everything right, and the sale of Kobbie Mainoo in particular would go down as a deeply unpopular decision. Chelsea are alleged to have interest in Mainoo, but we aren't really taking this seriously. It comes amid protracted contract negotiations, and we expect Mainoo to sign a new deal. Until he does put pen to paper on a new contract, United have to be open to offers if a huge bid were to come in. Alejandro Garnacho's situation is more complex. He has struggled to fit into Ruben Amorim's system, having not started a game since early December. If his situation does not pick up between now and the end of the season, it might even be the prudent move to cash in on the Argentine and spend it on a hand-picked player for Ruben Amorim who is ready-made for his system. At the same time, Amorim must demonstrate between now and then that he is the man INEOS were right to go all in on, and that United aren't just going to rip his plans up if he has another wobble and appoint a new manager, who might have a totally new system and want to play Garnacho. Manchester United's situation shows financial worries. Years ago, in the Sir Alex Ferguson era, the club had a simple approach to the class of '92 talent. They were not for sale until the manager said so. Eventually this happened with David Beckham in 2003 and Nicky Butt in 2004, after Ferguson had enjoyed the fruits of their best years. Mainoo and Garnacho are only just getting started, but United are in a different position sportingly and financially to the late 90s. Nowadays, United cannot simply afford to say no matter what. With staggering amounts of debt leveraged against the club and an unpaid transfer fees, and an ongoing battle to comply with PSR restrictions, every decision has to be considered and rationalized. United may have been hoping a Marcus Rashford sale might alleviate financial concern. Yet there do not appear to be any offers for a permanent exit forthcoming, this transfer window at least. And the problem is that United cannot sell the player they might want to, and might have to sell one of the players they want to keep. Nobody wants a devalued, costly asset, which is what Rashford represents on his wages, while Mainoo and Garnacho are on cheap deals, making clubs more willing to countenance big transfer offers. We expect Mainoo to stay, and Garnacho to stay until summer, depending on how his second half of the season fares under Amorim. For this even to be a discussion, however, is disappointing, and the result of how badly United have been run. So what do you think, United fans? Should the club hold firm and protect its youth stars at all costs, or is this the financial reset we need? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your voice matters. If you've enjoyed this in-depth breakdown, show your support by hitting that like button and subscribing to the channel. And don't forget to turn on notifications so you never miss an update on this roller coaster season. We'll be back soon with more hard-hitting analysis, breaking news, and tactical deep dives to keep you informed and engaged.